Do you love Chip and Company podcast? Be sure to head over to chipandco.com for even more Disney Parks news, entertainment, and review podcasts. Chip and Company has been delivering the best in Disney news, planning tips, and more since 2009. Now you can get your news in an audio-only format all week long. Every Monday, join Marc and Greg for DisLife Podcast and start your week off the right way by living your best Disney life. Tuesday is our news and review podcast discussing the latest breaking news from the Walt Disney Corporation. Every Wednesday, we're discussing the best of Disney parks with Chip and Greg. Join Bondo, Miriam, Tinker J, and Mark Andrada every single Thursday for We Like Theme Parks. And every Friday, join Marc and Greg on And Company as we break down the top headlines of the week. Fellow fans unite with Mark Adams and Bryan Lee on United We Fan, the podcast, now at its new home here on the Chip and Company Podcast Network. Get that extra dose of Disney in your weekly commute, your time on the treadmill, or even just relaxing around the house. So stop what you're doing and smash that subscribe button to be a part of the best podcast network in the Disney community. We hope that you enjoyed today's podcast, and thank you for being a part of our podcast family.
Hello, fellow fans. I'm Mark. United with me is my co-host, the rascally Bryan. What up, Bryan?
The He-Man Woman Hater Club.
On the last episode, Bryan and I discussed our top 10 comedic scenes from TV shows. And Bryan, I had a lot of fun doing that one. I hope you all had fun listening to it. On this week's episode, we're going to unite with some fans as we pick our favorite theme park attraction between Disney and Universal Orlando Resort. As United We Fan starts now.
All right, let's do this one last time.
Truth is, I am Iron Man.
Football is life.
I solemnly swear that I am up to no good.
X never, ever marks the spot.
Is Star Wars the one with the little wizard boy?
This is the way.
Avengers!
Assemble.
Ah, chills. Literal chills.
Hello, fans. Thank you for uniting with us on the Chip and Company Podcast Network as we talk about all things fandom. Please give us a rate or review wherever you listen so we can unite with more fans out there. Bryan, I mentioned that our last episode was about comedic scenes in sitcoms, and I did some polls on our Instagram channel. Check us out. Parks and Rec beat out The Office.
At United We Fan _podcast on Instagram. It does upset me. The Office is better than Parks and Rec, and I love Parks and Rec.
Ooh, all right. Let's see. Always Sunny beat out Community.
Not enough people have watched Community.
And then next up was New Girl versus Brooklyn Nine-Nine. It would have Thank you. It would have broke my heart to see a winner of that one, so I'm glad they were a tie. Could you pick, Bryan?
Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Wow, didn't even think about it. Cool. We did get a new picture of Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds teaming up in their very comic book looking outfits as Wolverine and Deadpool. And I asked which team were, our fans on, and Wolverine. Team Wolverine beat out Team Deadpool. That actually surprised me.
I'm losing all the polls tonight. I'm Team Deadpool.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's see. I did one more poll. Favorite of these 4 action franchises. It was John Wick, Mission Impossible, James Bond, and Bourne. And it came down to the wire between Mission Impossible and John Wick. But John Wick won. I was very surprised. Bond came in 4th. Wow.
Bond, you could have thrown Indiana Jones on that list and it might have come in 3rd or 4th as well. I just think Bond is for an older generation.
Yep. Well, speaking of which,
Mission Impossible is better than John Wick, though.
Yes, I agree. I'm definitely Team Mission Impossible. We will have, there's a new Mission Impossible out, Dead Reckoning, Part 1. We will give you a non-spoiler quick review. We're not going to do a special episode for it. We're going to do a quick review of it. But first, Bryan, I have hot takes.
Feeling hot.
All right. As we all know, the Emmy nominations came out the day of this recording. And Shrinking, which Bryan and Mark from DisLife recommended to me. And it didn't get nominated for Best Comedy Series or Writing, but the biggest punch to the heart was Harrison Ford, who I thought was going to win, didn't even get nominated. I was very upset, Bryan. So, and then Obi-Wan, I know you're a Star Wars guy. I don't know how that got nominated.
No, it should not have been nominated.
No, I'm glad Andor did. That got some love in. So did Weird Al Yankovic story. There we go. Got nominated for feature and for Dan Radcliffe. That made me happy. But Jury Duty, that was another Bryan recommendation. Actually, Bryan, I have a new segment this week's on Bryan's recommended viewing. You've been trying to get me to watch Kim's Convenience, and I did, and I loved it. I thought it was hilarious, and I enjoyed it. So thank you for that recommendation.
Kim's Convenience is so funny. I love that show.
Also, on this week's new segment, Mark's random marathon. Since you always seem him.
Yeah, how do we not have imaging for Mark's random marathon? We need that.
I know we do. But this week I'm going to call it Netflix and Muscles instead of Netflix and Chill. Get it, Bryan? Netflix and Muscle.
I do, but I'm afraid you're doing weird things to muscles at that point.
What? All right. Ooh, good point. I watched the American Gladiator documentary. That was really good.
Dude, the ESPN one's good too. Watch that one.
Okay. And as someone who grew up watching American Gladiators, I loved it. They even brought up, I love sharing the fun fact about the American Gladiator dinner show here in Orlando. So I was glad they brought that up.
What?
You didn't know about that?
No, you've been to it?
Oh, no. I haven't been to it, but I live near it. Don't stalk me, listeners. So I have pointed it out.
Wait, is it still going?
It's currently a rock church. So it's on 192. It's near the Giant Orange and O-Town. So it's between those, but it's a giant rock church.
It's amazing.
Yep. So from that, I went to the Arnold Schwarzenegger documentary. And I got to say, I got so much more respect for that guy. Just what he's accomplished and his way of life. Wow. So then from there, I went to FUBAR, his action series, which if you like late 90s, early 2000, like Arnold cheesy action flicks, watch FUBAR. So that was this week's Mark's Random Marathon.
When you said you watched the Schwarzenegger documentary, one, it is hilarious to me how like they pretend like that one kid isn't his kid because he looks exactly like him. Yep. But two, I was going to ask if you watch FUBAR. I think FUBAR is awful.
It took me about 2 episodes to really get into it because the acting was bad. Like Disney Channel original movie bad, but it got better. But I enjoyed it just because I realized this is 90s Arnold action movies, and I went with it.
Now I just need to put like Arnold Schwarzenegger into like Smart House or Brink or Cheetah Girls.
Cheetah Girls. Oh my God. Camp Rock with Arnold.
Yeah. We need to do a Disney Channel original movie episode. That'd be fun.
Decombs. That'd be fun. Should we do an Arnold Schwarzenegger one?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
I'll wax poetic on Kindergarten Cop until the cows come home, though.
There you go. Well, that's that for those segments. Now we're going to move on to our dun, 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 Mission Impossible review, non-spoiler. Doom, 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 doom.
You barely talked about the Emmy nominations. Don't you have a lot more to say?
My main ones were about Shrinking. Those are my hot takes. Yeah. The Lord of the Rings show on Amazon didn't get nominated for Best Score, which I think is a huge crime. Yeah. I was surprised Wednesday got a lot of love. Jury Duty, like I said, Bryan, that was a recommendation from you. Jury Duty got nominated for Best Comedy Series. Please check that out. James Marsden for Best Supporting Actor. That was funny.
James Marsden is so funny in that show. The Bear, I don't know if this is a hot take, but I'm going to hit the button anyway.
Feeling hot.
The Bear season 2 blows season 1 out of the water. And season 1 is really good. The Bear season 2 is awesome, especially the 6th episode. It's a flashback episode, Christmas, star-studded, super good. We've got Phil Dunster and Brett Goldstein from Ted Lasso nominated for Best Supporting Actor in a Comedy Series. I do think James Marsden's going to win, though. The Bear being nominated as a comedy show threw me for a loop. Wednesday's kind of a comedy show. I kind of get it. I don't get The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. I care far more about the comedy series than I do the dramas, even though I am very, very happy that Andor's getting the love, but I don't see how Obi-Wan got as much as it did. Not a fan.
I'm glad that Prey, the Predator movie on Hulu, that got some love. So
yeah, and you called out Weird, the Weird Al Yankovic film on Roku. I wish it wasn't on Roku because I think more people would have watched it. I would have gone to theaters. Yeah, man, that movie was very, very funny. I loved it. Okay, we can move on from the Emmys now. I apologize.
That's okay. When I first saw them, if we had recorded then, my hot take would have been a 10-minute monologue of what are you thinking? So, but here we are. Mission Impossible. It is going to be non-spoiler. Fear not. We aren't going to do a special episode for it, but we're going to give you our non-spoiler reviews. Bryan, you and I are huge Mission Impossible fans, correct?
Yeah. Mission Impossible 1 is fine. It's good. Mission Impossible 2 is tough. Mission Impossible 3 is better. I love it for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
4, 5, and 6 are incredible. And 7 was on that level of Rogue Nation, Fallout, and Ghost Protocol.
I've definitely seen a lot around the internet where people are calling it a crime that the first one is not on a lot of people's top favorite, top 3, top 5. It's not in my top 4. I'm sorry, it would not be on my Mission Impossible Rushmore.
Nope.
So
4, 5, 6, and 7 are the Rushmore.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Emilio Estevez.
I mean, yeah, and I know we did the poll, but I'm sorry, Mission Impossible, I enjoy that more than John Wick. Love Keanu Reeves. I enjoy it more than James Bond. James Bond's kind of lost his way here and there. Mission Impossible has only gotten stronger. Fast and Furious can learn from this series. A lot of series can learn. I mean, this was number 8, you said, right? The one we just got?
7. Part 7, Part 1.
A lot of movies, franchises can learn from Mission Impossible about how to improve things. Going into this, they showed a lot of clips of Tom Cruise doing that stunt with the motorcycle and going off of the cliff. I had people in the theater, I don't know if they just hadn't seen it, I don't know how. There was gasping, there was
language
going on in the theater when that happened. It had the effect on my theater. So that was great. I saw it in the Dolby Theater. My seat, good Lord. I think it was the car chase scenes and the train scenes. My seat was just feeling that movie too. So go see in Dolby before Oppenheimer and Barbie kick it out, definitely. But Bryan, this movie is going to be in my top 10 of the year, probably in my top 5. I had no complaints. This movie did not feel like over 2.5 hours. I enjoyed it. I can't wait for part 2.
But it's not Tom Cruise taking the entire thing to himself. Granted, it is a Tom Cruise vehicle. Haley Atwell held her own throughout this entire film. She is incredible. Yep. She was very good. If we continue with her story, I'm very happy about that. This film has everything you love about a Mission Impossible film. Man, it was so good. They did show a little bit too much in the trailers. I wish we hadn't seen the train where they go flying in the air and then crash back down. That is honestly probably the coolest shot of the entire film. I thought that was really well done. The motorcycle scene was incredible as well. They cut the audio when they do it. It's really cool. But this is non-spoiler. Haley Atwell is awesome. The car chase scene and the obstacle they have to overcome during this car chase scene, so good. Man, it lived up to. I still think I like Fallout better. I think Henry Cavill was a really compelling villain, but this one had a lot more twists and turns in it. I really, really, really liked it.
I like that things didn't come as easy for us in this one. You can see a little bit more struggle. I just like that every twist and turn, he had it like, oh, okay, I'm out of this situation. Oh no, I'm in another situation. I loved it. Haley Atwell, bravo. That scene you're talking about between the four actresses, what I loved, it was not a forced, hey, let's get all the main characters, almost all the main characters in this one shot and force it like, like Endgame did or anything like that. That scene, if I could have watched it live, like on stage between all those actors, just playing the chess game, it would have been brilliant to watch in person.
I hope they were on scene together. The cool thing about that particular scene is literally every main character in the film, including the one that doesn't have a face, even has a presence. Really, really, really well done.
Yep. Is it a movie you're going to see again?
Yes.
Yeah, I will gladly see it again. Could it be in your top 10 for the end of the year?
It certainly will be. It has, at this point, it's probably number 2 behind Across the Spider-Verse.
Oh, it beat Guardians?
Maybe it's number 3.
Wow. Me being the music guy, shout out to Lauren Balfe, who did the music for it. Check out the album. He does more music than just the theme. He really brings his own sense to it. So, yes, highly recommend it. It is UWF recommended. All right, friends. On this episode, we're going to find out who is the champion of attractions between Walt Disney World and Universal Orlando Resort. Helping us decide will be first-time guest host, but longtime listener of the show, Patrick. We appreciate you. As well as Mark. You know him from several previous episodes from DisLife. As well as Greg, fellow fan and friend from Chip and Company Podcast Network. This will be a 2-part episode, so stay with us. This is going to be part 1, and the battle starts after our commercial break.
Hey guys, DisLife Mark here, and I want to tell you all about the official travel partner here at Chip and Company. Let our good friend Sarah at Destination to Travel help you plan your next Disney vacation. Sarah specializes in planning dream vacations for your family. She's an authorized Disney vacation planner, and she can help with every step of your magical vacation. The best thing is that her services are 100% free. Want to travel beyond Disney? Sarah has you covered there too. Want to find out more? Fill out a trip request form over at the website at Chip & Co. or email her directly at sarahsolberg@d2travel.com. Start planning that dream vacation today. Email her at sarahsolberg@d2travel.com.
All right, friends listening at home, now it's time to do the battle of the Disney World and Universal Orlando Resort attractions. Bryan, do you have your game face on? Oh God, is that Roy Kent? What game face is that?
I don't know.
Wait, I need you to do the Roy Kent laugh for me.
This is probably a face only Kristen's seen before, so I'll just move on.
No, just do the Roy Kent laugh. Do it. Do it. There it is. All right, friends. We have Mark Valentine from DisLife, Greg from Chip and Company, Patrick from My Heart. Hello, Patrick.
Hello, friends.
Hello. All right. So just to kind of give you a quick rundown, we're going to give you a Universal attraction versus a Disney attraction. We're going to all talk about it as we debated whether or not we're doing our favorite, what's the best. And Bryan, you put it best. If we had one choice to go experience something, which one are we picking? So that's how we're picking.
The bracket,
Bryan, whenever you're ready.
The bracket does have a few more. It's got a few first round matchups of Disney versus Disney, just because there's more attractions at Disney. But again, Marc and Greg from DisLife Podcast. If you aren't listening to them, you should be every Monday here on the Chip and Company Podcast Network, and every Friday and Company. Marc and Greg there as well, stealing all our ideas from random Rushmores and hot takes and everything else. Mark, what do you have to say for yourself?
Yeah, man. Listen, we were inspired by the best. I just want to say from the Chip and Company Podcast Network, hey, thanks for having me out again. It was great to visit with you guys and talk Ted Lasso just a few weeks ago. And here I am again. So always love when I can fan out with the two of you. Heart emoji. Thanks for having me. Our bias is pretty clear for Greg and myself. We are DisLife Podcast. So we're going to try to be as objective as possible, but my heart lies with the mouse, the House of Mouse.
I heard you on We Like Theme Parks, also on the Chip and Company Podcast Network, and there was multiple sound clips in which you got the Universal stuff well. So you did just fine. So Greg, do you find an issue with yourself being impartial when it comes to Disney versus Universal?
Hoy hoy, Bryan Lee, and thank you so much for having me here on United We Fan. This is awesome. I like being from Greg from Chip & Co., but I also really appreciate I'm Greg with DisLife. Mark, I haven't seen you in so long, my friend. I miss you. I'm a Disney Worlder, but being down here, living so close to the park, I get the exceptional life of being able to ride all these rides anytime I really want to. But if I'm going to do one thing, I'm going to go to Disney World.
Fair enough. And Patrick, you're a Disney guy as well, but you know a thing or two about Universal.
Absolutely, yes. I have had the pleasure of working for Disney, still do. I've worked for Universal as well. Fantastic companies on both ends. You know, I can appreciate both of them for sure.
And I do want to go on record and say this officially, and this is official on DisLife Podcast. The Wizarding World of Harry Potter definitively beat Galaxy's Edge, and in my opinion is the greatest themed land in the history of theme parks. So while I do have a clear love for Disney, I do acknowledge that Universal is doing some pretty amazing things too.
Wait, Mark, where was I on that episode? I have no idea. I would never put that as the best themed land.
All right. Well, let's get going, because if we don't, it'll never, ever end, I don't think. So let's get going. So we're going to start with our first bracket, and it's the region called Yzma. Put your hands in the air.
Faster! Yzma, put your hands in the air!
Themed to the thrill rides, and then at the very bottom, I ran out of Universal thrill rides, so we have Storm Force Acceleration because there was nowhere else that it fit. So we're going to go Universal Velocicoaster versus Disney, the 16 seed of Dinosaur. Mark Valentine.
Dinosaur is hot trash.
No, it's not. It's not that bad.
It is. It's hot trash. And I would never pick Dinosaur to be anything with the exception of Kali River Rapids. But also, Velocicoaster is probably one of my favorite roller coasters of all time. So that's all I could say, man. Velocicoaster for the vote for me.
Hey, Mark, remember that time we rode first and second row Velocicoaster in like 10 minutes?
It was amazing.
Yeah, I thought you were going to die. Dinosaur is nowhere near as good as Indiana Jones. I'll give you that, but hot garbage is a little bit strong. Let's go to Patrick.
I have to also echo that statement. Nowhere near as good as Indiana Jones, but I vote Velocicoaster as well.
Marky Mark.
Dinosaur is not hot garbage, but I'm still going with Velocicoaster.
Will you ride Velocicoaster? I know you don't always love roller coasters.
I mean, sometimes, you know, if you feel the need for speed, Velocicoaster's it.
Ow! Greg, is it a clean sweep for you?
I do believe the words DisLife Mark used was hot trash, not hot garbage. It's hot trash. It is horrific. No one likes Dinosaur.
I do.
I do.
I'm so sorry. Listen, I apologize, guys.
You guys make me want to vote for it just to like give it a sympathy vote.
When Velocicoaster opened, it turned into one of the greatest roller coasters in the U.S., so it's got to be Velocicoaster.
Yes. The 8 seed Tower of Terror versus the 9 seed Dr. Doom's Fearfall. Marky Mark.
You already know.
Yeah, I was going to say this shouldn't really be much of a debate.
Yeah.
Dr. Doom's Fearfall shoots up and Tower shoots down. Patrick.
Yeah.
Tower of Terror for sure, 100%.
Greg.
Terror.
I'm trying to be politically correct here, but can we go back to Mission Breakout instead? Do we have to do Tower of Terror?
So we want to replace Dinosaur with Indiana Jones, and we want to replace Tower of Terror with Mission Breakout. And I'm good with both, honestly.
I'm going to go Tower of Terror over there. It hurts. It hurts to vote for that.
You don't like the Tower of Terror?
I do not like Tower of Terror. Thank you very much. I've gone on it. I've ridden it. I don't need to do it ever again.
Interesting. It is surprising how Mission Breakout really is just a completely different ride. Mark Valentine.
Mission Breakout is a superior ride in every single way, shape, and form. But Tower of Terror is so fun, man. It's the theming behind that is amazing. Not to say that Dr. Doom's Fearfall isn't also fun, but it's just a little light on the theming for me when you compare it to what Tower of Terror is doing. So Tower of Terror is the clear winner for me. The
queue line at Dr. Doom's Fearfall, you get hardcore TVA Loki vibes, and I really enjoy the queue line at Fearfall. Greg, we're going to start with you on the next one. We've got the number 4 seed of Tron Light Cycle Run versus the Incredible Hulk. Greg, you love Tron.
Greg has ridden Tron 9 times in a row without getting off of it. Greg could ride it for another 50 times without ever getting off of it. Tron is one of the greatest rides in the world.
I thought you didn't like Tron.
Well,
yeah.
No, I
Brian, you told me that.
Started off that I did not like it, and then DisLife Mark and I had a few conversations about riding it. We figured out how to ride it and it not to hurt your gut area, and it has turned into one of the most fabulous quick roller coasters you can do.
It is quick. Patrick, have you ridden Tron?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, Tron Light Cycle Run versus the Incredible Hulk. You get a massive headache on Hulk. I do.
I'm going to vote for Tron as well. I think it's a fantastic ride. Yes, it took a while to build, but that's neither here nor there. But yeah, fantastic ride, and the theming and the music especially, and the lighting, absolutely on point.
Mark Valentine, I know you love the Daft Punk music on Tron.
I have. I've ridden both of these once, but I will say that the Incredible Hulk was a one and done for me just because it hurts. It actually hurts. Your head bangs back and forward. And it's just one too many loops for me. I did not feel great after I got off of that. I've only done Tron the one time we had the preview, and I cried. I literally cried after I got off. I grew up with Tron. So as a kid who grew up in the 80s, it hit all the right emotional notes for me. Tron.
Marky Mark.
Tron Rail. Tron.
Wow. Yeah. Clean sweep all across the board for everything so far. Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey, aka the Hogwarts Castle, or Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. This is where Mark Valentine looks like he wants to go.
Yeah, I do want to go because I've got a hot take for everybody. Big Thunder Mountain at Walt Disney World is not going to get my vote. If this is Disneyland, we're talking about a whole different ride, a whole different experience. But Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey is amazing. It is so fun. I love the theming of that ride. I love everything about it. That's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about Harry Potter and the Wizarding World just being next level. Big Thunder Mountain that we have over here in Walt Disney World, it's a little generic for me. So it is the wildest ride in the wilderness, but I'll take the Disneyland version over what we have at Disney World any day. So I will pick Harry Potter, man, and the Forbidden Journey.
Greg?
Mark, I love you. And I'm going to agree with you on this one. That's the hot take of the night. Forbidden Journey is so good here, but look, Walt Disney World's version of Big Thunder Mountain has not as many goats and is not the goat.
Holy crap. Marky Mark.
I love Thunder Mountain. Haven't gotten to experience it in Disneyland, so I'll take your word for it. But saying that, just walking into the Hogwarts Castle, getting on that bench, traveling around, Forbidden Journey.
Mark, I just realized a gigantic omission on our list. And it's replacing Storm Force Acceleration. You'll find out when we get there. Patrick.
It'll be a clean sweep. Forbidden Journey. As much as I do love Big Thunder Mountain, Forbidden Journey just is absolutely a mind-blowing attraction. And to me, still, I think it's the number one attraction at Universal Orlando currently.
Really?
Whoa.
It would beat Velocicoaster for you.
For me, yes. Obviously, Marky Mark has more stories than I do, but I helped open it. The theming and the absolute technology behind that ride. Plus, for me, it's also personal because when it first opened, I fit, and then I got a little too big, and then I lost some weight, so now I can fit again. And so it's personal for me too. So.
Hey, party time! I will say the Dementors need a little TLC.
That's true.
Yeah. The one in Universal Hollywood, those Dementors are scary.
Disneyland version of Big Thunder Mountain, I still think I go Forbidden Journey. I think Forbidden Journey, especially from a queue line standpoint, just all the way through the experience is really, really good. Next, Hagrid's Motorbike Adventure versus Test Track. We'll start with Patrick.
So I'm going to vote Test Track on that one.
Wow.
Especially the current version of Test Track over the older version.
Crash Test Dummy Test Track might get my vote, but Tron Track does not get my vote. Okay, it's 1-1 because I'm voting Hagrid's. Marky Mark.
Hagrid's, easy. Jeez, Patrick.
Greg?
I see why.
Oh my God, no,
Hagrid's
Greg, what?
Is such a great ride, and Test Track, it's not Cars. So because it's not Cars and because it's so old school, I'm going to go over to Hagrid's Motorbike.
I just love my Emperor Palpatine influence on Greg right now. He comes to Disneyland once with me, and he has seen the light. I love this, man. I love.
Hey,
this.
Mark. How was Mickey Mouse out there? We got to see him, right?
Yeah. So there were a lot of things that I did not show Greg out in Disneyland. He didn't meet a single character, so he holds that against me. So my vote's going to be quick. I'm not going to go into the why because I'm saving some of my ammunition for Hagrid's later on. Hagrid's gets my vote, Bryan.
Sounds good. Rock and Roller. I'm sorry, Patrick, but Test Track has been eliminated. Rock and Roller Coaster versus Revenge of the Mummy. I want to start with Marky Mark because I feel like this might be one of the hardest ones for him.
It really is. Oh my God.
Do you want to come back to you? Maybe your vote won't even matter.
Yeah, maybe my vote won't matter. That way I don't have to hurt myself. So go ahead.
Patrick.
Oh gosh. Okay. I'm gonna go with Rock and Roller Coaster for rewritability. Yeah, absolutely.
Mark Valentine, does Rock and Roller Coaster need a retheme?
I wouldn't be brokenhearted if it was rethemed. If they made it Powerline, I would absolutely love that. I have to vote Rock and Roller Coaster, man, because for me, it's personal. This was this was the last roller coaster that I had to really overcome. I used to be terrified of roller coasters. And then when my daughter started to ride them at the age of 4 and realized like her dad needed to like seriously man up, this was the last one that I did. So, and it was the first coaster I ever inverted on to have that sensation. So this holds a really special place for me. So it's not that the Mummy's bad. It's just the Rock and Roller Coaster has a better personal history for me.
It's because I was inverted, keeping up foreign relations. Greg.
My hatred of Steven Tyler and Aerosmith keeps me from ever liking Rock and Roller Coaster over the Mummy. I'll take Brandon Fraser any day of the week. Revenge of the Mummy.
I need my cup of coffee. I'm going Rock and Roller Coaster as well. So Mark, you are off the hook.
I was going to pick Rock and Roller Coaster. The Mummy just is too jerky.
Rip Ride Rocket versus Expedition Everest. I will go first. Expedition Everest gets my vote. Mark Valentine.
I'm going to echo those sentiments. Great theming. The rewritability on that ride is amazing. Rip Ride Rocket terrifies me. Getting stuck on that vertical climb would be like nightmare fuel for me. And if they had to evacuate me in a bucket, I think I would just prefer to die and stay on the roller coaster forever.
Getting evacuated would suck, but being stuck like laying down like that, just take a nap. Greg.
I'm going to Expedition Everest. Yeah, that's simple as easy.
Patrick.
Expedition Everest as well.
Marky Mark.
Rip Ride Rocket, just to upset Disney people because Everest is overrated.
Have you guys ever seen
it's not.
of Jimmy Fallon riding Rip Ride Rocket with Kevin Hart? It is one of the best videos like ever.
That's me on a roller coaster. I'm Kevin Hart.
Does he get hit with like a fly or a bird?
Yeah. Yep.
Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind, and our last minute edition makes it Disney versus Disney. I don't care. We left Space Mountain off the list. Space Mountain is now on the list. Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind or Space Mountain?
Guardians.
Patrick.
I feel like that's a huge admission there, but
dude, we put it together fast and it just a lot was happening.
Yeah.
Cosmic Rewind for sure. Yeah.
Greg?
Yeah. Cosmic Rewind.
Mark.
Cosmic Rewind is what Space Mountain wishes it could be now.
We're going to stick in the Yzma put your hands in the air region. We'll go back to the top. Velocicoaster versus Tower of Terror. Greg.
Again, my hatred of Tower of Terror will keep me from ever voting for it. Velocicoaster, still one of the greatest roller coasters in the Central Florida area. Man, that when you go over that top hat, come on.
Has anyone ever had the rollback on the top hat where it doesn't quite make it up to the top?
Nightmare fuel.
I want it so bad. Patrick.
Tower of Terror.
Really? Marky Mark.
Tower of Terror.
Mark Valentine.
I'm going to go with the Velocicoaster. You and I had an amazing experience on that, and it's just memories.
We got our first tiebreaker.
You hated the second row so bad, and I didn't think we were going to get you on the front row, and you did it.
That's right! We can't have anyone freak out there, okay? We've got to keep our composure! We've come too far! There's too much to lose! We've got to keep our composure!
Velocicoaster advances because that's my vote. Tron versus Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey. Mark Valentine.
This is hard. I've only done Tron once. But again, I got really emotional on Tron. I legitimately cried. Halfway through the ride, the tears just started to pour at just being amazed that I was in the grid, that I dream, like that was a dream that I had as a kid. What kid didn't want to be a part of Tron growing up? You wished that you could get sucked into a computer and battle Sark. And so to get my time on the grid was just,
Mark.
We are inserting the greatest dad joke of all time told by Jeff Bridges to Pedro Pascal. Right.
Oh my
here.
God.
So you played it after you filmed it, or
I tried to play it. I can't play it.
okay?
What game is this?
It's called The Last of Us.
Is it out now?
It into,
a few years ago, yeah.
Because I got sucked into a video.
Which one?
You know, Tron.
Tron, of course.
Man,
one of the original video game adaptations.
Right, man.
Mark, I hate to tell you this, but a lot of people that I bring to Tron for the first time, 9 out of 10 people, I have to explain to them what Tron is.
It breaks my heart.
Yep.
Breaks my heart.
So we have one vote for Tron.
Yeah, I'm a Tronny dude, through and through.
Patrick, you love Forbidden Journey. Do you like it more than Tron?
Okay, yes. I'm going to vote for Forbidden Journey. Yeah.
Greg?
My childhood would not let me vote for anything other than Tron. It hits on so many levels, and it was just beautiful. And I was there sitting next to DisLife Mark on his first ride, and it was just, I held him like a little baby and caressed his head while he sobbed into my bosom.
I'm genuinely shocked by this because I haven't heard you discuss Tron a lot recently. The last I'd heard it, you were not a fan. So
that was the first time I wrote it. It was during the cast member preview. And then when I was lucky enough to do the media night. Mark, did I not come out of it going, I'm a changed man? And we had to do a full podcast about it.
But was that the difference of writing in the day versus writing at night?
No, it was figuring out where your chest really had to sit on that ride, because if you go too low and you try and force yourself onto there, no, you have to gently place your body and let it conform to you instead of you. You got to conform to it instead of it conform to you.
This isn't the marriage advice hour. Marky Mark.
You haven't seen me on Tron then.
I think Tron gets too much hate from a lot of people, but still I'm going to go Forbidden Journey.
Oh, that puts me in a bad spot.
I think they're bribing you, Bryan.
No,
I already know you're going to pick.
No,
I know
I've only ridden Tron once, and I love Forbidden Journey with all my heart. Because I love Sum of All Fears, and Forbidden Journey is like that on steroids. Is that what it was called?
Oh, wait.
No,
Bryan,
Sum of All Fears is the Tom Clancy book. Sum of All, what's it called? It was an Epcot attraction.
Yeah, Some of All Thrills.
Some of All Thrills.
Bryan.
Some of All Fears is the Ben Affleck with Morgan Freeman movie. Yes.
Bryan, you know you brought up an extinct attraction. That makes a good time for Random Rushmore.
The game where everything's made up and the points don't matter.
love that music. All right, friends. I want to hear everyone's 4 extinct attractions that are their favorite. And it has to be Disney or Universal.
Oh, crap. The only one that comes into my mind is extraterrestrial alien encounter.
That's on my list.
Body Wars.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Crash Test Dummy Test Track. And Backlot Tour.
Oh my God! Stab in the heart.
Lights,
the
Motors,
original
Action.
one.
Lights, Motors, Action.
Oh.
I love Lights, Motors, Action. Patrick, go ahead. Or no, Mark, this is you. Sorry.
Great movie ride. Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. Body Wars. And Horizons.
Horizons?
We can tell the Disney kids. For me, I'm going to go Ghostbusters, Jaws, Alien Encounter. Man. I was thinking Alfred Hitchcock or Back to the Future, but I'm going to go the original Backlot Tour when they had movie sets pre Lights, Motor, Action. But Bryan, good for you bringing up Lights, Motor, Action.
You guys, I can't explain how good Extraterrestrial Alien Encounter was. Like, It was so good. Patrick or Greg?
I'll go. Yeah. So Lights, Motor, Action. You nailed that. I had totally forgot about it until you mentioned it. I'm going to go Maelstrom has got to go on there for me personally.
Nice.
Mr. Toad, absolutely. And then I'm going with Jaws over at Universal. That was such an amazing time when I first rode that.
Mr. Toad's still out at Disneyland. It's so good.
Yeah.
Patrick?
So great movie ride. Jaws, Captain Jake's Amity Boat Tours.
That's right.
Great. The Backlot Tour at Hollywood Studios and Body Wars as well.
A lot of love for Body Wars. All right. That Splinter got everybody's heart going.
That's what she said.
That was fun. Forbidden Journey gets my vote. Tron is out.
Wow.
Hagrid's
de-rizzed.
Hagrid's Motorbike Adventure versus Rock and Roller Coaster.
Hagrid's.
Oh God.
Patrick.
That's a hard one. Okay. I guess I'll vote. I'll vote for Hagrid on that one. Yeah.
Mark.
I'm going to vote for Hagrid's as well. It's a superior ride in every way.
Greg.
We can dream on if I'm going for Rock and Roller Coaster. So it's Hagrid's.
Hagrid's this late in the game getting a clean sweep because I also vote Hagrid's. Cosmic Rewind versus Expedition Everest. Does anyone want to vote for Everest in this circumstance?
Nope.
Everest was my favorite Disney World roller coaster until Cosmic Rewind came. I love Everest, but it does not beat Cosmic Rewind.
Do we all have a favorite song?
I still
haven't gotten them all.
I still haven't gotten September. I'm still waiting. I did the Christmas one. People hated it. I didn't mind it.
Ugh.
Yeah, Tears for Fears for me. Everybody Wants to Rule the World is my favorite. It's a vibe.
Conga's pretty good.
Yeah,
Conga,
the Blondie song. I'm all about the Blondie song.
One way or another.
Yeah.
No, mine is Flock of Seagulls. I ran so far.
I ran.
That's my personal favorite. I like that one. Okay. We only have just a few decisions left to make in Yzma Put Your Hands in the Air region. Velocicoaster versus Forbidden Journey. Mark.
Journey.
Forbidden Journey. Mark Valentine.
Velocicoaster. It's just it's pure adrenaline and it's so good.
Patrick.
Forbidden Journey.
Greg.
I got to go Velocicoaster. It's the first ride I actually checked up myself and went, am I about to die? Nope, I'm back inverted. It was just so good. It blew my mind. Forbidden Journey, while it's an excellent top 10 ride, Velocicoaster made me rethink things.
I also vote for Velocicoaster. It advances.
Oh.
Hagrid's Motorbike Adventure versus Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind. I will go first. Jeez. I hate this matchup. Yep. This is actually my championship for the region. Either one gets the vote over Velocicoaster for me, but I am voting for Cosmic Rewind. Marky Mark.
Hagrid's.
Patrick.
Cosmic Rewind.
Mark Valentine.
Cosmic Rewind is next level. It's just that good. It's next level. Cosmic Rewind.
And Hagrid's is next level too. That's what makes this so hard. Greg, it doesn't matter, but I would love to hear your opinion.
Oh, I'm glad I'm not a tiebreaker on that one, but it's Cosmic Rewind.
Stick with Cosmic Rewind. Cosmic Rewind versus Velocicoaster. 2 of the 3 newest attractions on the list, with Tron having been the newest and eliminated earlier. Velocicoaster, Cosmic Rewind. Mark Valentine.
Velocicoaster is the thrills and Cosmic Rewind is the fun. But Cosmic Rewind is doing something so different, man. The visuals that they're coupling with that ride mechanic and that sideways movement, the corkscrews, just like the effects of going around the moon and being pulled in by the gravity of that. The dialogue is just amazing and it's so funny. Like the more that you ride it, the more that you hear. And it's a different ride every single time. Every song gives it something new. Cosmic Rewind is the better technological achievement. So that's my pick.
And how different does that ride feel when you get that Tears for Fears, Everybody Wants to Rule the World versus something like a Conga? It feels like a completely different attraction. Just like Mission Breakout in California. The music makes the attraction either somber or fun. Like it's always fun, but so that's 1 vote for Cosmic Rewind. Greg.
Had it been Cosmic Rewind during the holidays, Velocicoaster would have won. But because it's regular Cosmic Rewind, it's just 2 various, totally different things, and Cosmic Rewind has to take it on this one.
I'm not sure. Also, I rode Cosmic Rewind on the 21st of September last year, and they didn't do September all day. I was very upset by this.
Oh,
missed opportunity.
Because it's still the one song I haven't gotten. They've gotten a lot of negative feedback on this Christmas one. It might not come back. Patrick, Cosmic Rewind, Velocicoaster.
So when I did the first time for Cosmic Rewind during the cast previews and during the pre-show, I was just in awe when the ceiling and everything disappeared. Yeah. So Cosmic Rewind is my vote.
That pre-show is incredible. Mark, does Velocicoaster get a pity vote?
No, not all.
Cosmic Rewind is the winner of the region. Yzma, put your hands in the air. Before we go to the next bracket, let's grab a drink of water and let's hear from our sponsors.
Is Disney World home to you? Realtor Victor Naraki can help make it a reality. Realtor Victor Naraki specializes in making your Disney home dreams come true. Second homes, investment home, retirement, relocation. With Victor's input, he will show you the home opportunities that you don't get to see as a tourist. Imagine being at the park in minutes, walking around the World Showcase for daily exercise, watching the fireworks in your own backyard, or having Disney Springs as your local mall. Have you ever heard of Windermere, Winter Garden, Horizon West, Dr. Phillips, Claremont, Lake Nona, or Disney's own Celebration and Golden Oak? Victor can introduce you to these communities, which are just minutes to the magic. Stop imagining a Disney life and start living your dream today. Call Victor at 407-340-9375. And don't forget to mention that you heard all about Victor here on Chip and Company Podcast Network. Head over to DisneyAtYourDoorstep.com and start living your magical life today.
I will now throw it to the group. We've got 2 mini regions of You May Get Wet or Sit Back and Relax, which are attractions. You May Get Wet, I think, is pretty self-explanatory. Low to no height requirement or screen time. Mark Valentine, go ahead and pick our next region.
Let's do the water rides.
The water rides.
Yeah.
All right.
Why not?
The number 1
Ready to get
seed,
wet.
Jurassic Park River Adventure versus the Navi River Journey. You might not get wet, but it is a water ride. Greg, go ahead.
Okay, so Jurassic Park River Adventure versus Navi River Journey. I'm going Navi River Journey. I will do anything. Avatar is my be-all, end-all movies. I am so basic that, Avatar's going to win everything.
Is this all sarcasm?
No, ask Mark Valentine. Mark,
the man loves Avatar in a very unnatural way. I don't get it. Yes.
I apologize to anybody listening. Mark Adams has changed his background and he's just like a glowing sun in the sky and it is throwing me off.
I feel like the baby from
Teletubbies.
Teletubbies.
Yeah.
We have one vote for Navi River
Can I
Journey.
be Lala now?
We all know who Tinky Winky is, and it's the guy with the gun show in the top corner. It's a great animatronic, Greg, but that ride is not better than Jurassic Park River Adventure.
I don't. What am I going to do? I'm going to get wet. Yay. I'd rather have the shaman singing to me.
Mark Valentine.
No way is Navi River getting my vote here. It's a 7-minute boat ride for a single animatronic that impresses. That thing is, I mean, what's the effect that we talk about, like going to sleep on the Hall of Presidents or, that's the effect on that ride. It's just a great nap. It's great air condition. Other than that, there's no one except Greg that loves Navi River Journey. Jurassic Park's a way better ride in every way whatsoever.
Patrick.
I'm gonna go with River Adventure. As much as I hate to say that, because Navi River Journey is visually breathtaking for sure, and the music is fun. But yeah, River Adventure still gets my vote though.
Marky Mark.
Without thinking, Jurassic Park.
Cali River Rapids, Mark's favorite, and Popeye and Bluto's Bilge Rat Barges. Both are pretty comparable. Both are not that exciting. Both are not very long. Mark Valentine.
I feel like I would be such a hypocrite if I then picked Cali River Rapids. So I feel compelled to eat my spinach, and with the gun show right here, power up and vote for Popeye.
Everybody give their best Popeye impression if you're voting for Popeye. Patrick.
Cali River Rapids, for sure.
Greg?
Popeye and Bluto's barge, what is it? Barge Rat Barges? Bilge Rat Barges. I don't even know the name of it. Look, if I want to go get wet, that's the ride I'm going to get soaked on.
We've made a habit of comparing Disney World to Disneyland rides. Grizzly River Run would beat both of these in a landslide.
A lot,
True.
by a lot. Yep.
Popeyes moves on. Dudley Do Right's Ripsaw Falls, if you're talking about getting really, really wet, versus Pirates of the Caribbean. You might get wet. Again, Pirates of the Caribbean, Disneyland, better. It's been stated. Moving on. Dudley Do Right's Ripsaw Falls, Pirates of the Caribbean. Patrick.
Again, if it was Disneyland's Pirates, but okay. So yeah, Dudley Do Right's gets a small advantage there.
Greg?
Pirates of the Caribbean here in Disney World. I don't care what you guys say about Disneyland. Is fantastic now that all the animatronics are working wonderfully. There's no way some guy who's a Canadian Mountie is going to beat these Pirates. Pirates of the Caribbean.
It's Brendan Fraser. It's not, but it was at one point in time. Marky Mark.
Pirates.
Mark Valentine.
You know the 30 Rock scene where they talk about like the appropriate amount of computer animation to like reality ratio where it becomes too creepy? I feel like we should have that discussion with Dudley Do Right, Ripsaw Falls, of how wet can a person get before it just becomes wholly unenjoyable to get on a water ride. Like if you want to go back to your hotel room or have to go home and change all of your clothes and your shoes and then come back to enjoy the rest of your day, then you know what? Pick that ride. But it's like you're not going to get wet. It's how wet will I get? And you're better off just jumping into a pool, and it's not fun. Pirates is the better ride, hands down.
Frozen Ever After. Oh, I also vote for Pirates. Frozen Ever After versus One Fish, Two Fish, Red Fish, Blue Fish. My question, Marky Mark, have you ever been able to follow the rhyme enough to stay dry?
I am an expert on that ride, so yes. My nieces love that ride, so yes.
Okay. What gets your vote?
One Fish.
Patrick.
Frozen Ever After.
Greg.
I'm going to go shockingly. One Fish, Two Fish, Red Fish, Blue Fish. I
Greg.
walking out of that ride with a wet bottom and then having to walk around for a few hours.
Greg, yes.
Mark.
I feel I'm revealing myself as basic with my answer. And you know what? I don't even care. I am basic because I love Frozen Ever After.
I do too, and it's going
Bryan.
to advance.
Ah.
I love Frozen.
So we're upset.
I did Frozen on opening day. My daughters love Frozen. My second youngest, like, she wrote it when she was like a month old, and man, people gave us some dirty looks in that line for having that young of a baby in the parks, but I don't care.
Oh, whatever.
Jurassic Park River Adventure versus Popeye and Bluto's Build Rat Barges. Jurassic Park. Marky Mark.
Jurassic Park.
Patrick.
Yeah, Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park as well.
Greg.
Jurassic Park. Yep.
Perfect. Clean sweep. Jurassic Park. Pirates of the Caribbean versus Frozen. Mark, you said you're basic. You like Frozen. Do you like it more than Pirates?
I don't love anything more than Pirates of the Caribbean. It's my favorite ride as a kid. It's the reason I came to Disney again and again and again. I love Pirates.
Mm-hmm.
Greg.
Mark is so eloquent when he says stuff like that, and that's why I always end up agreeing with him. So Pirates.
I'm going to cast a vote for Frozen. I like it better than Maelstrom. I'm sorry. Patrick?
Okay, I'm going to vote for Frozen, but I'm going to vote Maelstrom over Frozen, though.
Mark, you have the official tiebreaker vote.
Oh, my God. Oh. Pirates. Yo-ho.
I already filled it in. I expected that to be the answer.
I know.
The winner of the mini region You May Get Wet, Jurassic Park River Adventure or Pirates of the Caribbean. Is there anybody brave enough to start?
Yeah, I'll go. I'll go with this one.
Yeah.
One of my greatest memories as a kid is my mom and dad taking me on Pirates of the Caribbean and being mesmerized by the ride and a little bit afraid. You know, when you're a little kid going down that hill, it seems like it's a lot more intense than it is in actuality. But you're, 5 and 6 years old. You just saw a skeleton and a bunch of dead pirates. You think that's it. You think that this is the end. And gentlemen, it's one of the best IPs in the last 15 years.
And
Johnny Depp, and they gave it new life, and there's so much longevity now to Pirates of the Caribbean. It's an icon in film and television. It's an icon everywhere.
Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl on Mark and I's top 10 movies. Patrick.
While the T-Rex animatronic at the end of River Adventure is amazing, I'm still going to vote for Pirates of the Caribbean on that.
I have a story that happened. We rode Jurassic Park River Adventure, and there was a guy that won a monkey on like the games out by Jurassic Park, and he was holding it in the air, and the team member from Universal came on and said, "Put the monkey down." It was awesome. That is 2 votes for Pirates. Greg.
There's nothing I like more than talking like a pirate. Isn't that right, DisLife Mark? I can do it all day. I love the Pirates Adventure outside there. I love Adventureland. Nothing is better than Pirates of the Caribbean.
My most successful meme I've ever posted online was Sean Bean from Lord of the Rings saying, "You do not pronounce Caribbean Beach in Pirates of the Caribbean the same way." Marky Mark. It's done. Pirates has already won.
I know. Jurassic Park, because it was when, you used to feel like you rode the movies at Universal, and I definitely felt like I was at Jurassic Park. So River Adventure.
River Adventure is also my vote, but it is in vain.
Yeah.
We'll stick in that region. This is the sub-region called Sit Back and Relax, the 1 seed Indiana Jones Epic Stunt Spectacular. And we're going to go straight to Mark Valentine because it is up against Monsters, Inc. Laugh Floor. Mark.
I would never vote for Monsters, Inc. Laugh Floor. I have almost been that guy twice. Greg, almost. I'm triggered. I was in the seat that guy got picked in, and I got like hip checked out of it twice by people that were like, "You going to move down?" And it was literally, they made me move down 2 seats, and I missed out on being it. So Indiana Jones.
Have you ever been the Rebel Spy on Star Tours?
Never.
Really?
Oh
man, we got to make that happen.
Man.
Greg.
Mark, I got you. I'll take care of you.
Indiana Jones or Laugh Floor, Greg?
Listen, I got my boys back. Mark knows I have his back on this. This man got in our way. He pushed us out of the way. We almost got into fisticuffs, old school 1920s style. Yeah, I can't ever pick Monsters, Inc. Laugh Floor because they dissed my boy.
I like the Laugh Floor.
I mean, is anybody going to vote for Monsters, Inc.? Should we save our time? What?
Mark just wants somebody to Patrick just wants to get yelled at for fun.
Yep.
Okay, Indy moves on.
Sure does.
This is Marky Mark's not happy with this matchup. Universal Horror Makeup Show versus the Carousel of Progress. I am voting Carousel of Progress, and it's not only to make you upset, even though it does.
I originally wanted it to be Horror Makeup Show versus Monsters Inc. Bryan and I had several cute phone calls about matchups, but I will go Horror Makeup Show. I love the show. I think Carousel of Progress is right for being replaced and saying farewell to Magic Kingdom. So Horror Makeup Show.
Greg, I'm going to go to you on this.
I don't know how I feel on his last statement. What do you mean replaced? It's Carousel of Progress.
Boot it.
Beautiful.
Boot it.
1964 World's Fair, famous ride. There,
great.
Look, and it depends on the horror show. If you get the Beetlejuice one, it's like, hey, this one's fun. But then again, it's Beetlejuice. Go away. So it's got to be Carousel of Progress.
Whoa. Patrick.
I'm going to be upset at this one so bad because, Bryan, this is why I told you I wanted it against Monsters, Inc.
Yeah, but Indiana Jones would have wiped the floor with Carousel of Progress, and that's why I wanted to keep it.
Better about Horror Makeup making it out of the first round. All you people are Disney people, and you're going to vote for Carousel of Progress.
Patrick.
My vote's Carousel of Progress, too. Sorry.
Oh, shocker.
The only way I'm good with Carousel of Progress going away is if they rethemed it to a WandaVision stage show. Mark Valentine.
I feel like I would lose my Disney card if I voted for that makeup show, although I do really like it, Mark.
You can vote for it. It's not going to advance anyway.
No, I know. But I sort of want to vote for it, but I also feel that if other people are listening to this show and I don't vote for Carousel of Progress, there might be a very swift backlash against me.
Mark, it's fine. You can vote Horror Makeup. It's still going to win. Carousel is going to win. You can vote for Horror Makeup.
Carousel.
Oh.
Muppet Vision. Oh, I can't take this away from you, Mark. Muppet Vision.
3D.
There we go. Versus the animal actors on location. Anybody voting for animal actors?
I will.
I'll
vote for it.
I want you to know, every time I go to Universal, I usually catch at least one animal actors. I love that show.
Because I'm going to close my eyes and pretend that it's the Enchanted Tiki Room because it's not on. Yeah, that's not on this tournament. So I'm going to pretend that that's the Tiki Room. And
I have to ask you, Mark, what is it about your hatred towards the Muppets? What did the Muppets do to you as a child that you hate them so much?
I don't get it.
Point to the Kermit doll. Where did someone hurt you, Mark?
He was that guy in the Goofy mask.
I don't get the Muppets. Like
Statler and Waldorf, they're hilarious. Come on.
I would join them. I can associate with those two guys. Like I get it. Like everyone's like, wow, they're hilarious. I'm like, no, they're just spot on. Fun. Like he's
Muppets.
Not funny. Yeah, it's not funny. I don't know.
Muppets for the win.
Muppets moves on. The Bourne Spectacular versus Mickey's PhilharMagic. Mark Valentine.
The Bourne Spectacular is the greatest show in any theme park, and I'm just gonna
Stuntacular. My mistake.
Stuntacular.
Yeah, I'm gonna steal my own thunder and just say it's the greatest thing that I've ever seen in terms of a show, a stunt show. That thing is just like we talked about with Cosmic Rewind, how they're using technology and they've really updated their game. This thing is bonkers good. The digital background. Know what? It's amazing.
I'm gonna laugh at all of you because Mark, you're gonna have to vote between Bourne and Carousel of Progress at some point, and I'm gonna sit here and eat my popcorn.
No, he's not. Indy's gonna be Carousel. But
Bourne, you people and your heritage.
I'm just gonna say it now. Bourne wins every single thing it's up against. I'm voting for Bourne every time. I agree with Mark. I think it's the greatest theme park show that exists. Waterworld, done by the same stunt guys out at Disney, at Universal Hollywood, is really good too. But I am going Bourne. Greg, you don't look happy about that.
If Bourne would ever work properly, because they could never get that in. Every time I've seen that, there's been an issue. They've had to take actors off stage.
I've never had an issue. That's surprising.
It never works properly. Mickey's PhilharMagic, you have the original classic characters doing Fantasia. No better movie in all of history. Let's move on.
I've never had Bourne not work. That's interesting. Patrick.
I had the bike not worked once.
I've had issues with Bourne. The very first time I saw it, they stopped about 10 minutes in and they had to eject us from the theater. So it took me like 2 or 3 times to actually see it all the way through without any time stopping.
What gets your vote then?
Born?
PhilharMagic, actually.
Wait, what just won?
Nothing. You haven't voted.
Yeah, nothing.
Born.
Then Born won.
Thank God. Whew.
Indiana Jones Epic Stunt Spectacular versus the Carousel of Progress. Mark Valentine.
I'm going to lose it.
So as much as I loved Tron growing up, I really loved Indiana Jones. I became a history teacher for 15 years because I loved Indiana Jones so much. I am a fan of Temple of Doom. Gentlemen, I know that Bryan does not like Temple of Doom.
Garbage.
It hurt my heart. You ripped my heart out like Molaram, Bryan, when you said you didn't like Temple of Doom. But I love Indiana Jones so much that I will throw Disney history away in favor of Dr. Jones.
In fairness, I just said Temple of Doom was much worse than Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, and now I'm backed into the corner where I am now in saying that Temple of Doom is hot garbage. It is the 5th worst of all 5 Indiana Jones films. There is an Indiana Jones Funko and an Indiana Jones plush staring me in the face. Therefore, I'm going to go to Patrick.
I don't have anything Indiana Jones in this room, but Indiana Jones is my vote.
Greg?
Unfortunately, I've had issues at the Stuntacular many times. And you know what? I'm a classics guy, so I'm going to go Carousel of Progress.
Interesting. Marky Mark, do I even make you vote?
I'm going to go Indiana Jones easily.
Patrick, coming to you. Muppet Vision, Born Stuntacular.
Oof, that's a hard one. So Muppet Christmas Carol is one of my favorite movies ever, but it's not represented in the ride at all or in the attraction at all. So
Know me better, man.
Yeah, exactly. But okay, so yeah, Born Stuntacular. Yeah.
Marky Mark.
This hurts my heart a lot. Born.
Mark Valentine.
Oh my God, that's Jason Bourne.
Greg.
For sure. We're going Muppets.
The Born Stuntacular versus the Indiana Jones Epic Stunt Spectacular. Mark Valentine.
Indiana Jones has my heart, but Bourne is just doing it on a whole new level. And again, it's one of the greatest things that I have had a chance to see. When it was over, I was like, wow.
It's 1 vote for Bourne. I give Bourne a 2nd vote. Greg, Indiana Jones, Jason Bourne.
I would, just because Bourne is in air conditioning and Indiana Jones is outside, I'm going Bourne.
Patrick?
Indiana Jones.
And Marky Mark, I apologize. I know your vote, but it's 3-2. Jason Bourne advances.
Indy is my favorite thing to do at Walt Disney World. You have all broken my heart.
I'm sorry.
I'm with you, Marky Mark. I'm sorry.
The winner of Sit Back and Relax subregion, Jason Bourne, or the Bourne Stuntacular versus the winner of the subregion, You May Get Wet, Pirates of the Caribbean, Mark Valentine, Pirates. The Bourne Stuntacular, you can only do one.
Listen, this is going to shock a lot of people, but the Bourne Stunt Spectacular is a lot more fun to do. I mean, now, have I done it in my life as much as Pirates? No, I haven't. So, but it hasn't lost that feeling. Like whenever I take someone to Universal, I'm like, have you seen the Bourne Stunt Spectacular yet? And they're like, no. I'm like, oh, we're doing that. I don't take people to Disney World and go, have you done the most lackluster version of Pirates of the Caribbean?
Feeling
Mark.
After he waxed poetic on it like 20 minutes ago.
But point being, there are a lot better versions of Pirates of the Caribbean around the world. I'm looking at
Shanghai.
I'm looking at you, Shanghai. We need to update our pirates just a little bit is all I'm saying. Bourne is going to get my vote. I'm sorry, Disney people. I'm sorry.
Patrick, Bourne Stuntacular, Pirates of the Caribbean.
Strictly for rideability and classicness, Pirates of the Caribbean.
Greg.
Mark Valentine, do I come to your house and pee in your corner? Why are you coming to my home and peeing in the corner?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I do not accept that. And next time we ride that, I'm going to have words with you. It's Pirates. It's the classic ride. It's what Disney World is all about. It's why this world is so big. You would have no Universal if it wasn't for Disney.
I get that. I appreciate that, man.
You still can have Bourne without pirates, though. Marky Mark, you are officially the tiebreaker because my vote is also for Jason Bourne.
It's just a great storyline and action pack, and I have so much fun. That's why I'm going to pick Jason Bourne.
Yes.
Heathens. You're all heathens.
Yes.
That's our carousel progress, you people.
Winner wins.
Well, we're going to pause here as that concludes part 1 of the battle of Walt Disney World versus Universal Orlando Resort attractions. Who is the better? Stay tuned and listen into part 2. Thank you again, and listen to us wherever you find your podcasts. For those listeners who want to stay up to date on everything United We Fan, the podcast, we're on Instagram. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter. We do fun things on there, more than just keeping you updated. But yes, follow us everywhere and come back for part 2. Till we unite again, fans, it's a great, big, beautiful tomorrow.
Shining at the end of every day.
No privacy at all around this place.